Dr. Clyde Johnson, volunteers in public schools, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm Clyde Johnson. I'm a volunteer with Volunteers in Public Schools.
Mr. Johnson first started at VIPS. He had heard about our program through his church, and he wanted to find opportunities where he can go back into the community and help young children, because education was so important to him in his life. So he wanted to go back and help children because he figures that education is an opportunity and the door opener for children to reach their full potential. So he came to us and said, "How can I help?"
When I started work with VIPS, they said, "What schools do you want to go to?" I said, "I want to go to the schools where the need is the greatest, where you have the most problems." They said, "Well, you're going to have problems." I said, "Well, if there were no problems, there would be no need for the program."
I've known Clyde Johnson about 7 years, and I think the thing that moved me the most was his commitment to trying to help every child. He knows that the life of every child matters, and he realizes that early intervention is important, and he is willing to meet each child where they are.
What we do at VIPS, we recruit and train community members to go into the schools to help kids who are underachieving. So we actually focus on reading and math because those are the foundations of all learning.
Many of the children that are recommended for participation in Everybody Reads do not have anyone at home who can really help them with reading, either because the parent maybe doesn't read or the parent doesn't have time. Many of these children come from families where poverty is a real problem. They move around a lot. Parent might have a couple of jobs. The children don't come from homes where there are a lot of books, if any books, and they certainly don't observe people reading on a regular basis.
The teacher can teach reading, but what these students need is a reason for learning to read, which is associated with mentoring. So most of what I did, and still do, is mentoring. Just talking and letting them talk. And finally, we may read a story or two, but the important thing is getting them ready to read, and also opening up a world for them that they don't know exists.
What we like to say in this community, we all have something that we can give. There's a way for each of us to give back. We all have talents that we can use to help others. And at VIPS, that's what we do. We're a part of the solution. If we had more Mr. Johnsons in this community, people who are giving back and serving others, especially when it comes to children, we would have a much stronger community.
My hope is that if I can affect one person, that perhaps that person in their lives will affect others in the same way.